Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Eats. I was just getting ready to cook up some Smilax. I thought maybe I should take you guys along and show you how to find and identify this. This is a really good asparagus substitute. I love asparagus. It's my absolute favorite vegetable. However, it's really difficult for me to grow in my location. So I've had to learn to use some substitutions, and this is a really, really good one. So come with me. We're gonna find a few, if there's any left in my yard, there should be, of these greenbrier or Smilax plants. I'm gonna show you how to identify them, and then I'll show you how to cook them. I actually have one growing in my greenhouse right now, and before I knew that these were edible, I used to get really frustrated and rip them out of the ground, but now I let them grow because I know they're edible and delicious. So this is one of the vines. I'll show you some more examples, and I'll tell you how to identify them. This is how you pick them. You're just gonna run your fingers lightly up the stem, and where it breaks off, this is the tender part that we're gonna eat. Smilax comes in many different colors and shapes, and I don't know all the names of each variety. I just know what to look for when I'm looking for these wild foods. So here is one variety. You can see it's got these long leaves with these two look like earlobes up here. It's kind of a reddish brown color with green spots. Here's another type. It looks very similar, but these are green. And here's something that looks very, very similar. I will not be harvesting this variety, and I will tell you why. So when I learned about eating these, I learned two key identifiers. Sorry, I just noticed a tomato growing in my yard. I don't know how it got here. Anyway, two key identifiers when you're looking for Smilax. They need to have both tendrils and thorns. So here's one of these reddish brown varieties. And if you look here, you can see that it has tendrils, and then it also has thorns. So I know that this one is an edible one. Right next to it looks the same. However, it has tendrils, but as I look along the vine, there are no thorns anywhere. So because I don't see both the tendrils and the thorns, I'm not going to harvest this one. Okay, so I found another one. We can see here that it has both tendrils and thorns. So here in my area in Northeast Florida, I believe we have 12 varieties, all of which are edible. I can't speak for anywhere else in the country because I've only ever lived here. So for each vine that I come to, I'm going to be checking that they have tendrils, thorns, and if so, I'm going to run my fingers along the vine until it snaps off. Sometimes they're really small. Other times you'll get a bigger chunk. And we just have lots and lots of these coming up in the yard right now. And like I said before, I learned that you could eat these. I got really aggravated with them and just ripped them out. And I'm so glad to learn that this is food. Sometimes you might have to look a little further down the stem to see the thorns, but you want to make sure that you are definitely seeing both of those things. Alright, I've got a nice little handful and plenty more where that came from. So let's go inside and let's cook them up. First, I'm gonna rinse them in a little cold water. Then you get a pan and a fat of your choice. I'm using bacon grease because I need to re-season my cast iron anyway. Plus, bacon just makes everything taste better. But if you don't like bacon grease or you're vegan, whatever substitute you want to use. And I just put some minced garlic in there. I prefer fresh garlic, but this is what I have right now. Just get that in there. Garlic, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like everything is made better with bacon and garlic. Now we just put our plant material in here. I'm just cooking this on a low. I've got a gas stove. I'm still kind of learning how to cook with, so I keep mine on a pretty low temperature for the most part. And all those little tendrils are going to crisp up and they're going to be so tasty. I might turn the heat up just a bit. I'm going to grab some salt and pepper. And I'm just going to let these cook until they start softening up. They're getting a little softer. You'd notice that they're like able to bend now. And just keep going a little while longer. Alright, these guys are just about done. It smells delightful in here. Okay, so here's the finished product. They do cook down quite a bit, so this is enough for myself, but if I was going to cook for myself and my family, I would need a lot more. Luckily for us, as with most perennial plants, the more you harvest, the more it produces. So every time I decide that I want to grab some of these and cook them up for myself, the plant is going to send out more shoots, so that I'll have more next time. I did want to mention you do not have to cook them down as much as I did. Like I said, I like my veggies to have a little bit of crisp. All these little tendrils right here are nice and crispy, and I like that. But this plant is edible raw. So if you want to eat it raw, go ahead. If you want to cook it less, go ahead. This is just how I prefer mine. Now these do take a little while to cool off, but I think maybe, yeah. All right, let's give it a try. I've heard people say it tastes just like asparagus. I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't taste just like asparagus. I love asparagus. But it has a very similar texture, have a similar flavor. Some people say it tastes even better than asparagus. We'll just have to agree to disagree. But if you like eating wild foods and foraging for foods, I think this is a really good one to add to your cookbook. Alright guys, let me stop stuffing my face on camera and tell you thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye guys.